Welcome to Tuesday, Patriot Radio News Hour. I hope it finds you well out there as, Jay Powell is having the last Fed meeting of his career. Starts today. We'll get the interest rate decision tomorrow. We have maybe the running out of room in oil that may be happening as we speak today. Oil back over $100 on NYMEX, 111 on Brent. I'm watching unleaded gas. That's kind of, almost got to 360. And then the UAE, big announcement out of the UAE. They are going to leave OPEC starting May 1st. And again, interesting to see UAE, one of the bigger, Saudi Arabia, I want to say it was Saudi Arabia, Iran, UAE, and Iraq. Right, they were kind of the biggest producers in there. Of course, the UAE has been attacked numerous times by Iran. I don't know. They did not say why they were leaving OPEC, but they are going to be leaving OPEC on May 1st. So, again, I think the whole situation with energy is up in the air, and when the dust settles, I think we're going to just see major inflationary impacts for all of 2026 into 2027. The longer it goes, the bigger the impact. Yesterday, we told you Iran's running out of room to store oil. Which means they've got to start shutting their oil fields down. And when you shut oil fields down, it's a process, right? It's a process where it takes a while to get things back running at full capacity again. So this is what, the third, fourth country now that was, OPEC or OPEC adjacent now with UAE that are doing these things. And if you have situations where you're shutting down these oil fields, like I said, a lot goes into that, and a lot goes into getting them back in producing. Right now, you got to have that pressure, right? They're pumping, I don't know what if it's water they're pumping in there, sludge, whatever they're pumping in there to get that oil to come up. It's going to take a while. So, interesting developments today, to say the least. Has the bond market really, again, going in the wrong direction? 4.37 on the 10-year note, the 30-year note approaching 5% again. We had a 5-year auction yesterday, a big tail on that auction. So, it is a mess. 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number, allamericangold.com. The website, I will tell everybody, today is a really good day. Matter of fact, I think this week may be the biggest entry point opportunity that we have seen since the early on, right, when gold and silver fell very hard. Right now, you got gold down over $109, $45.70. Let's call it $45.75. And again, showing, gold doesn't, every time it gets below 4,500, it doesn't stay there. I don't know if we're going to get to 4,500 or not. But, Jay Powell's last meeting, my guess is, this is just my guess, the market is anticipating they're not going to raise or lower rates. That's out, right? They're going to leave rates the same. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get maybe some tough talk out of Jay Powell as he's exiting, on inflation and whatnot. So I think the market is kind of anticipating that. Obviously, the oil news back above 100 and things not looking like they're going to resolve themselves, at least immediately. And then silver, same thing. Silver's down like 280 right now, just over 72.50. Make sure get some gold and silver this week. But we got a great show lined up for you. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason here on this Tuesday. Quick look at the markets. The Dow is up 20 points. The S&P is down 50. The Nasdaq's down 300. OpenAI, big miss. We'll see how that goes. The 10-year note, 437. Got the UK 10-year, 4997. So just trying to hold that 5%. The Japanese 10-year is almost up to 2.5%. Crude oil, it's off the lows. Off the highs, my bad. Right below $100 on NYMEX. Brent's at 111. Unleaded gas, thankfully off the lows, or off the highs. God, I got to get that right. 351 right now. And as we said, gold down $109, 45.75. Silver down 281, 72.58. We're going to get you guys some huge opportunities to get into the gold and silver markets and save a bunch of money. But Donald, we have a bunch of different things happening. First, the U.S. Energy Department, as news is coming out, so we're going to have to really watch this. Iran is out of room. What does that mean? They have nowhere to put any more oil. They've loaded every ship they've got. The storage facilities are full. And, of course, we're blocking anything from coming in or out.
Trains?
Well, you can do some trains, right? And the problem with the trains is, hey, we've only got this size of a pipeline for the train, and that's kind of it, right? So 90%, 95% of their oil was done through ships. The U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright warning about the devastation that will happen if Iran has to shut in, and I don't see how they aren't going to be able to do this. As far as what will happen for crude pricing, telling Bloomberg this morning Iran does not have a lot of capacity left. It's old reservoirs. It's not good. So what are they saying? Hey, Iran's infrastructure, it works, but when you turn off the pumping, right, the pressure goes away. And this is a very difficult process when they try to put the pressure back, saying that it could be much longer for Iran to come back online than, say, somebody else that has better, maybe UAE has some better infrastructure that they can get back online quicker. But as of right now, it is a game of chicken. Iran believing that they can outlast the U.S. Donald Trump today saying that Iran's in a state of collapse. So the war of words again, saying that they want to open the strait as soon as possible. So here we are, Jason. I think we're finally at this point where it's critical now. We've got maybe a week left. And then if something doesn't happen, bad things are coming. If you think gas is expensive now, it looks like we got the war of words is picking up. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying that Iran is trapped like drowning rats in a sewer, talking about having their oil infrastructure getting ready to come apart because of the U.S. Blockade. There will be a gasoline shortage, anger, and again, here in the U.S., I don't know, maybe wishful thinking here. The potential for protest leading to an uprising. So, Jason, I don't know where we sit on this. It's almost like the U.S. is like, okay, the bombing thing didn't get the uprising. Let's see if we can do it when we starve them of the government of money. And then, of course, anything like gasoline and heating oil in Iran will cost a fortune. Maybe we can get them to overthrow the government then.
It's a lie. Everything they just said was a lie that you read. If shutting down Iran's oil infrastructure was the plan, then why did they just bomb it? So we know just based off that it's a lie. So, yeah, maybe Iran fills capacity at the shutdown, right? But how much oil stored up does Iran need to be legit for whatever time frame? I'll bet the stores, if they're not blown up, because remember, we didn't blow up America, not we, American government, American military, didn't blow up the oil infrastructure and didn't blow up the oil. So obviously they don't want to do that. So whatever Iran has stored, even if they shut down, Joe, why do I get the feeling that if they have a way of exporting it in some ways, like trains or whatever else, that they're probably can hold out for a long, long time? If they really wanted to shut down Iran oil infrastructure to really put the heat on and really make them collapse, then why didn't they just take it out? Something very wrong. Something very wrong there, Joe. Something very wrong.
That was politically unacceptable, right? Remember the Trump administration, they were going to bomb them and take out the bridges and the oil, and decided against it. Now they got this plan. I don't know. By the way, Goldman Sachs, who yesterday raised their oil targets, raised them again today. Now $120, saying that a supply shock is getting ready to hit, and there's going to be a repricing of risk. And tomorrow, so something interesting we'll get tomorrow. We're going to get oil inventories tomorrow here. Last week, remember, we had huge draws in gasoline, in diesel, and jet fuel. I'm anticipating we're going to have those huge draws again. And, of course, remember, we're getting ready. School's getting ready to get out. Drive season is going to be here in the U.S. And now, and again, we don't know, right? We're being told this, that, the other. Goldman Sachs is saying there is no more inventory out there. The weakness because of lack of inventory and lack of price isn't enough. In other words, yes, there's demand destruction, obviously. Well, gosh, if I want to buy, I don't know, pick a number. I want to buy 10 million barrels of oil today. And they're like, well, sorry, we've only got 4. All right, well, I'll buy the 4. Well, you could say there is demand destruction, right? But
I call false scarcity.
It's not enough. And then listen to this. I don't know if this is true or not, but Goldman Sachs is saying that the United States may start rationing gasoline and diesel and jet fuel, not to us, but to other countries that Donald Trump's been saying, hey, come over here. We've got plenty. We'll give it to you. According to Goldman, we don't have that much gasoline and diesel fuel to make up for all of this for the rest of the world.
Gas tariff. I mean, is that what it is, a gas tariff?
That would be.
This is so bogus. Right? Does anyone remember in the 1970s? Even though I was a little kid, I heard about it. People told me about it. They're just repeating it. We're going to have all this horrible stuff happening because of a bad economy and bad inflation coming, and then we're just going to point it at Iran. 1973, the oil shock. Oh no, and then followed by what? Tremendous inflation. It's been 50 years. Most of these people won't remember, even if it's just sitting there. You could just do a simple Google search.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's ridiculous. And by the way, isn't that what brought the so-called non-banked entities into Iran to take over? Isn't that the same thing that made these guys be in charge? I don't think they even care about regime change. They just care about their economic system kicking the can down the road and trying to convince Americans and other citizens in other countries to just lower standard of living, but at least things ain't blowing up in your neighborhood. Be thankful.
Right.
Be thankful that your kids will have a lower standard of living. And by the way, your grandchildren, maybe you should just die before you see their suffering, which they'll think is normal because, kids growing up now, they don't know what freedom really was, or at least the brand of freedom that we had a couple generations up. We're all serfs. We don't even know it. And they put on a show on television, hey, there was an assassination attempt, but let's all put our makeup on and send videos to our social media. Take advantage of this moment. Let's talk about the ballroom while we're at it. I'm not a huge fan of the what is it? Jennifer Lawrence movies. Jack, what are those Jennifer Lawrence movies? The
Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. You ever see the Hunger Games, Joe? Did you ever see that?
I watched them all.
I mean, didn't the Correspondents' Dinner look like the Capitol? I mean, isn't that what we saw? And then you have some guy come out, wow, that was a guy that tried to do an assassination. Get a good headshot. Get my good side, right? Look at the dress she's wearing. What an event this has been, right? And meanwhile, you have these other countries, you have people all over that are just barely making it, while the Capitol just sucks the blood and life out of everybody else. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's why we sell gold and silver. It gives some of you a little bit of levity and a little bit of protection against all these funny games that are being played, right, Joe? I mean, you have to work your butt off just to have that higher standard of living, Joe. You have to protect it with protect every inch of turf you've got, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you got to constantly be fighting for your situation, and it's not greed and that's not selfishness. How are you supposed to help somebody else out if you can't even help yourself out? Right?
Man, I don't know. This is again hard to understand what it is.
False scarcity. There should be so much oil. It should be coming out my eyes and ears right now. That's how much oil there is.
You know what? It was coming out the eyes and the ears.
Oh, yeah, it's just cheap that way. Yeah, suddenly they shut the spigot off. It's like, oh, there's no oil coming out my ears today. Oh, no, panic. Charge more money for it.
Wow.
Inflation.
The comments, too, are just amazing, right? They're drowning like rats. Maybe they'll rise up. They don't have any weapons, right? They're what are they going to do? Just get slaughtered again? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. I do know, listen, they need inflation, and they're going to create it.
I think Iran signed a deal, man. I think we're looking at a fake war. That's just me. Sure seems funky to me, Joe.
Well, I mean, if they had signed a deal, wouldn't we have oil already?
Oh, no, you
right?
can't tell the public the real story.
Oh, sir. Yes, ma'am.
800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. The Federal Reserve starting their meeting today. We'll get the word tomorrow. And then, of course, the story of the day, oil. How big is the problem going to get? Right now, NYMEX up 331 and 99.70. 99.70. Probably going to be over $100 here. Brent crude at 111 as we just keep watching. By the way, OpenAI, this a big miss today. Of course, this has been the big driving force behind the markets. All the spending on AI, and now worries about if there will be enough revenue to actually satisfy these quote-unquote commitments that all of these companies have been making. So a lot of these are, listen, we've been telling you, whether it's the Buffett rule, what have you, we're above the dot-com era, right? The PE ratios, all of these things are significantly out of whack. A lot of it by, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend $10 billion. I'm going to spend $20 billion. I'm going to spend $100 billion. They're not spending it this second. They're saying, well, I'm going to spend it, but I'm going to spend it next year, the year after, and the year after that, and the year after that. OpenAI's CFO, Sarah Fryer, said that they are worried. She is worried the company may not be able to actually pay for these future computing contracts if the revenue doesn't start growing even faster. So, again, this is going to be something that we'll watch. Jason and I very confident in the amount of money that is going to be handed out by governments all over the world. Really going to see a lot of, like Jason said, this is very reminiscent to the 70s, right, with all of this oil. Now, remember, we don't keep inflation that way anymore. And of course, Kevin Warsh, they're going to make it even feel better. But gold and silver, listen, guys, you're in a great spot. Look at like gold. We're like $1,000 off the low or off the highs. I mean, silver, gosh, what are we? Not quite $50 off of the all-time highs. And we're in a really good spot as far as here's what we know. We know the deficit is going to blow up. We know that, by the way, GM raised their forecast. You know why? Because they're selling buttloads of cars? Tariff refunds. Yes, we're going to get these tariff refunds. We're going to put it in our pocket.
Offshore money coming in untaxed. Is that,
Yeah, the government's going to write them a big check.
Offshore money that was not allowed to come back, and they would call it tariff rebates. No, that's money that was sitting there that's coming back without any fees or taxes or anything. And, pump up that stock, Joe. Pump it up.
Pump it up. Pump up the jams, as they say. $20 gold pieces, $46.95. But, okay, I've got some gold coming in. A big chunk, almost 125, just 123 $5 liberties. I'm going to make this price so huge. But here's the one thing I'm going to need you guys to do. Normally, hey, you can order it, pay for it, order it, book it. When we get them, you pay for it. This one, I'm going to need you guys to pay for it ahead of time. I know that sucks, but this is kind of the deal here. I have to buy these right this second. So here's what we're going to do. $5 gold liberties, 1 through 9 at 1,100. Okay, $1,165. 4 of those, right? That's a $20 gold piece, right? If you bought 4 of them, it'd be $4,660. Right now, spot gold, $4,580. But if you can swing 10 or more, okay? Now, I've got, like I said, I've got 120, 123 to be exact. I'm going to take the price down to $1,150. That puts your cost at $4,600. If you bought, an ounce, like a 20, right? $4,600. That means 4 $5 liberties right now would only put you at $19.50 over the spot price. And who knows, right? I mean, we can be back above 4,600 in 2 seconds here. So a huge opportunity for you to get in at this price on gold and being able to do it fractionally. $5 liberties, cheapest gold I got today. Cheaper than 20s, cheaper than 10s, cheapest way around, 1 through 9, $1,165, 10 or more, $1,150. And then on the silver side of things, U.S. Silver Eagles, I'm going to take it down $1,650 for rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles. That's not even $10 over. It's nothing. I mean, Silver Eagles, cost $76 on Silver Eagles. That's my cost. You're buying them for $82.50. Guys, take advantage of these pullbacks. 800. You know what? Make it $16.40. Let's just make it an even $82. $16.40 on rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles. But the big deal is in gold. $5 liberties, 1 through 9, $1,165, 10 or more, $1,150 at 800-951-0592. When we get back, a central bank just bought a ton of gold. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. News just breaking. The Bank of Japan just finished its meeting. They left rates unchanged, but what was interesting in it, it was 6-3. 3 dissenters forecasting a very big jump in inflation from the Bank of Japan. 3 dissenters wanted the Japanese to raise rates because of the amount of inflation. Again, I think the markets are anticipating some tough talk from Jay Powell tomorrow on his way out the door. You got an opportunity in the gold and silver market. Jump on it. $5 liberties, 1 through 9, $1,165. If you can get to 10, guys, man, what a price. $1,150. Puts you like $20 over spot when you buy 10 or more. And then U.S. Silver Eagles, $1,640 at 800-951-0592. And if you joined us late, the UAE announcing they are going to leave OPEC on May the 1st. I think, this is just me, I think this is a signal that this thing in Iran may get worse. The UAE, who has been bombed several times, they want to get their oil production to where Iran's was before the war, right near 5 million barrels a day. And obviously inside of OPEC, they can do it. And, of course, they've been bombed by Iran. So who knows here? I know a lot of people scratching their head. But, again, I think this is more of a reflection of, hey, if we can force Iran to shut down their oil fields, maybe UAE can pick up some market share. I don't know. Just everything seems kind of
I wonder if the UAE just
right?
made a dollar deal. I mean, the UAE doesn't have to.
Well, you got to remember, we just agreed to a dollar swap line with UAE. So
there you go.
Right?
Out of OPEC.
This is
one at a time. If you take down OPEC and they're doing dollars, that it connects a lot of helpful things to your aching dollar situation, right, Joe? So yeah, that's a pretty big one, right? And who knows? Maybe Iran secretly is going to sell some oil in dollars. They just have to pretend like they're the enemy, Joe. We'll see if those sanctions end. We'll see. The war ends.
Right.
We'll see.
And then Turkey today. By the way, the Turks sold a bunch of gold earlier this year. And, of course, I told you they do that pretty much every year and then end up buying it back. Well, that's exactly what happened. The Turkish Central Bank has bought 36.4 metric tons of gold in the last 2 weeks alone. They had sold 127 metric tons right before it's funny, right before the price crashed when the war started. Turkey dumped 127 tons and now just announced, hey, by the way, we just bought 36.4 metric tons back. And again, this is not going to change. The vote in Japan today is a great example. There's no good choice. Yes. Should we be raising rates? Yes. Yes. Right? That's easy. Why do I say yes? Well, let's see. Stocks are, they're right next to all-time record highs. Right? They hit all-time record highs last week. We got all-time record high. Yeah, okay. Maybe hiring's not great, but no one's getting fired, right? We've got enough workers. Inflation is way over what you say you want. And we know there's very little chance that it's going to get better, right, in the next 3 to 6 months. It's just not, right? It's not going to happen. Even if the war ended tomorrow. So what, we go to $85 oil, $80 oil? That's still $25 more than when the war started, but they're not going to do it. Are we going to get 6 to 3? I don't know. Probably, right? It's going to be one of those, well, you see, and the reason is why? Because there is no good option. They don't have anything. This illusion that the central bank can control the economy, it can control jobs, it can control inflation by raising or lowering interest rates. It was a total fallacy to begin with. It was just a made-up story that sounded good on a piece of paper. They have no effect. They can't do anything. And I'm sticking to it, Jason. They're going to cut rates before this year's over. They're going to cut more than once, and it doesn't matter what the inflation number is.
Yeah, and if you got all this offshore money coming in, you were just talking on the last segment, you pump up some stock prices. Oh, everything's great. We have to look at this hot market. We got to cool it down.
$160 billion in tariff refunds coming to all these U.S. companies, right?
How many people
on top of?
How many people are going
to?
People are going to put their money in the market right before it bottoms out in a year. How many people are going to get suckered into that while Warren Buffett sits on his pile of cash?
800-951-0592. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Patriot News Hour. Wrapping up to Tuesday, so tomorrow we'll get the Fed. We won't get that while we're on the air, but after we get off, gold now down $92, $45.90.
Oil stopped going up.
Yeah, oil sitting right at $99 and change, but we have $5 liberties. Just a huge set. This is. I don't have any gold. Cheaper than 20s, cheaper than 10s, cheaper than anything on the board.
It's incredible.
1 through 9, $11.65. That's only $70 over spot. I mean, if you really think about it, that's like $17.50. Take a $5 liberty, and if you just bought one of them, you're paying $17.50 over the spot price for it. That's it. But wait, if you can buy 10 or more, it's $1,150. Right now, that's $10 over the spot price, right? So if you essentially you're paying, if you buy 10 or more, you're going to pay $2.50 over the spot price at $45.90, right? I mean, guys, this is huge. By the way, silver back above $73. I'm still holding U.S. Silver Eagle 1640. At 800-951-0592.
Never thought I'd see speculation in oil to buy gold, because that's what's going on, Joe.
Yeah.
They sell the gold and silver off, the paper contracts. Oil goes up, right? Then when oil stops, they essentially, it looks like they just sell it off and then put it back into gold and silver. Gold and silver is going to go. Trade. Gold and silver is going to be bouncing up and down, and oil is going to be bouncing up and down. And then when all the oil funny business ends, which I know is that the rest of the year, I don't know. Whenever the oil funny business ends, gold and silver is just going to be like a bomb that goes off. And here's the thing: don't try to time it, guys. Don't try to time it, because you won't time it right.
This is a gift here. This is a huge sale. $99.95 on NYMEX crude. Brent crude, $111.57. And again, watch unleaded gas here, just below $3.55 on unleaded gas. 800-951-0592. By the way, real quick, because I want to get this in there. Remember Spirit Airlines?
Yeah.
And we're going to be like, hey,
the bailout.
We'll give them $500 million. Well, apparently that's not going to be enough. Now Spirit Airlines is saying we're going to need $2.5 billion.
That always happens.
Apparently,
the company
that's what real inflation is.
The company that is failing doesn't see the problem that big. Then some outside guy comes in. All right, well, let's actually take a look at what you guys are doing. Okay, no, you're way worse than that. You don't come in soft. If you're gonna fix this thing, you better come out with the real number. And there you go, Joe. It happens every time.
Yep.
If you're failing, you don't want people to think you're really failing. You have the outside guy come in. You can say, well, we think we're failing this way, but if you can get that much money, then yeah, it probably would be more helpful.
Why did it all of a sudden get more expensive? By the way, that $2.5 billion is if jet fuel only stays above, the $4 a gallon. I don't see anywhere where it says, what happens if jet fuel's $6 a gallon? I guess I'd have to pay a little more, but yeah. $500 million, whoops. 2.5, what's 2.5 billion? That's a rounding error. God bless everybody. Jump in here today, both feet.